For any Wolf lore aficionados out there, you'll know that the individual known as Wolf died in a Nintendo Direct video, where after being cruelly exposed to Amber and Andrew's commentary, I shot myself, and so did my ghost, leaving my ghost possess my body in the subsequent time. Thus, I happen to be an expert in the horror and the supernatural, so it falls to me to give you a small peek into what it's like to be an avenging spirit, for this year's edition of Wolf's Spooktacular Special. Something I have a team of lawyers to defend its copyright, so try and use it, I fucking dare you. I've never really been into horror films on account of being a massive pussy, so I'm starting off with a classic, The Exorcist. Considering when this was shown, the most risque programming that the public had seen was two old people talking in a kitchen and Mr. Blobby. The Exorcist broke ground, and not only its depiction of the paranormal, but the first known example of someone having a brat summer. The least realistic scene was the demon spider walking down the stairs and blood coming out of her mouth, and not a single person armed with the broom said, "Get off bloody carpet, you're gonna bloody stain it!" The projectile vomit scene is somewhat ruined by Little Britain. Lifting out of the bed after saying these edibles ain't shit, by modern standards The Exorcist is hit or miss. Looking through the comments section, I noticed it was made up entirely of boomers saying, "No really guys, this was considered scary. Complete with look, but don't make it too obvious." Or if I don't go through my skincare routine, I give it a Spooktober rating of "these kids just don't get it." Texas Chainsaw Massacre, aka A Normal Day in Texas, follows a group of college students as they begin to get hunted down by a slow maniac and its family. Running like he's rubbed deep heat cream into his asshole, much of the film revolves around running in corn and avoiding new metal. This, like all horror films, has been remade, and far worse, spawning unnecessary sequels. The problem with horror sequels is it's hard to be spooky in the same way again, as much of the best content has already been milked like a malnourished cow. The recent remake has switched the "oops, run out of gas" with influencers coming to renew a dying town, and I must say, I've never rooted for a killer more than my life. I feel like Leatherface would have had a far easier time by TikTok dancing into frame and masking his murders as the Chainsaw Challenge, and then watch them plunge onto the rotating teeth on their own free will. Spooktober rating, Texas sucks. Paranormal Activity answered the question of what it's like to watch a baby monitor for an hour and a half, but adults instead, aka the average secret camera Airbnb experience. Paranormal Activity is a slow build, a bit like an American putting together a Lego set. The film culminates in a drag scene, which is what the conservatives have been warning us about. Honestly, the best part of the film was for the actors, who just got to have a nice kip whilst the special effects team did all the work. If I lived in this haunted house, then after hearing a bang downstairs, Mother Wolf would, with eerie music and building tension, turn a corner to see me eating all the cheese at 3 in the morning. The Birds from 1963, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, depicts the terrifying experience of going to a seaside town and subsequently being mobbed by seagulls. As the total opposite of Boy Better Know's Too Many Men anthem, the quantity of birds on screen is quite frankly staggering. Skepta would be delighted. Our first video game on the list is horror classic demo PT. In the biggest case of dropping the bag since me when I exited that bank, Konami in their infinite wisdom said that they would not keep Hideo Kojima in the director role and instead thought they could do better without him, a theory that's aged as well as the flat earth. The gameplay of PT involves going through a door, walking through a house, leaving the door, and then looping back to the start. Only Child Protective Services could understand the same feeling of repeatedly entering the same shithole through the same door, only for it to loop all over again. With each passage through the house, you get spooked more and more until you eventually get choked by a woman, something I'd usually pay for. This was genuinely scary and was supposed to be the teaser and the reveal for a new Silent Hill game. We never got that Silent Hill, but we recently got a very solid Silent Hill 2 remake, something that I'm currently redesigning the contents of my boxes playing. Nightmare on Elm Street is a horror classic, where Freddy Krueger, serial killer turned strange entity, kills his victims in their dream world. If I found myself in Elm Street and Freddy were to enter my psyche, he would promptly leave and never speak a word of what he witnessed to any soul. Much like a parent saying that bees are more scared of us than we are of them, Freddy, upon seeing my dream world, would flee to a far safer place, such as Helm's Deep, an active volcano, or Syria. The Conjuring is a horror classic, where a team of ghost annoyers, as I've deemed them, turn up to try and rid a troubled family of a demonic entity. The Conjuring, through multiple spin-offs, has created its own universe like the MCU, but exclusively for people who no longer eat jelly vitamins, but take diazepam instead. Featuring Annabelle, a possessed doll not called Chucky. I'm glad that there hasn't been a new slant on Annabelle, where she has a Bratz theme makeover, and instead of haunting, she's just like, whatever, Dad. I don't understand, and feel free to fill me in, Conjurers, which is what I've decided to call people who enjoy the universe, on why someone simply just doesn't take a bat and pound Annabelle into porcelain. She just comes back, I hear you say, slurring due to your antidepressants. But that's the trick, you see. It's a ghost rule that after you are destroyed, you must take as much time as you need to maximise your sudden return with demonic energies. Appearing in a mirror once a cupboard's been closed, spookily appearing at the top of stairs, you get the idea. Then, as the haunted, you simply just immediately smash the doll again, and you repeat the process until haunting you is far more trouble than it's worth, as they run out of clever reveal ideas and simply leave to go haunt someone less fucking annoying. Also in the Conjuring universe, you have the nun. I feel the yellow eyes and teeth weren't necessary, as nuns are quite frankly scary enough. Taking place before the Conjuring in the 50s, the nun really didn't have to be so extra with her elaborate stalking and hauntings, as you could probably kill someone back then via heart attack if you just went, got your nose, or did that little finger wangling thing. Wee 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 wee. Alien was sadly to my chagrin not a sequel to E.T. where Sigourney Weaver crushes him with a power loader like stomping on a toothpaste, but features the xenomorph aliens who I've always found funny. The double chomper, which is the scientific name, trust me, always seemed like it spoke in a much squeakier voice than the main head, like a man getting kicked in the testicles. The xenomorph, seen here bothering a woman at a club, I've never found particularly scary, aliens being too far away from earthly issues to really trouble me. Alien Isolation, however, gets a special note, as it depicts a harrowing chase where you have about as much chance of survival as pissing on a tiger's head. The Omen is about the son of Satan being born, something my grandmother always said to me as she splashed this strange burning water onto my head. In the golden age of horror where no boundaries had been pushed, and thus literally anything was considered scary, children are naturally weird and spooky, so when the trailer says, "When he reached 5 years old, it happened."
When the child was 5 years old, something terrible happened.
And then we see little Danium just acting like a little shit, so nothing particularly foreboding. I was on a bus once, and a child who was screaming was told by its mother, "I will get the man to hit you." I was shocked and appalled by this suggestion, as I was going to do it anyway. Spooktober rating, it happened. The Terrifier series is the new kid on the block, with possibly some of the most bloody and cartoonish depiction of violence I've ever seen. Like Bugs Bunny but on bath salts, Art the Clown is the most fun, yes, fun killer, possibly ever, and has since become iconic in the genre. With the latest film reaching number 1, that's great news, as Art loves number 2, something I absolutely can't show on YouTube. Art has no right to be as funny as he is, as he makes you go hee hee, silly clown, oh gee fucking hell. And when you think it's all over, he literally comes back to rub salt in the wound. Is it scary? Not really. Is it an absolute hellscape only matched by the horror of pineapple on pizza, and if you are particularly scared of clowns? Yes. Father Wolf said that Carrie was the scariest film he ever watched, and even specified the scene in which he covered his eyes. I'm going to watch this scene and give my thoughts. I'm assuming that my father, and the entire generation he is from, if this is considered one of the greatest jump scares of all time, must be terrified by merely a low-flying pigeon or just a weird-looking dog. Carrie tells the story of a loner girl who was sheltered by her religious mother and discovers she has special powers. Basically, Matilda if she killed Mrs. Trunchbull like she should have. Phasmophobia is a VR experience that is quite literally my idea of hell. Go to haunted locales and be hunted down by vengeful spirits, like if most haunted was real. You must identify the various types of entities with various symbols and activities. Thankfully, there's a spot on the team for someone to sit in the van and just monitor the maps. AKA the pussy, AKA me. Operating on more of a managerial role than the idiots I send in, I operate a tight ship and never, and I mean never, miss important signs of demonic activity that my team should be informed about.
What I'm gonna do, but I'm ready anytime. Automatic high, and I'm walking over cloud 9. Automatic high.
I have to mention at least one horror book, so Stephen King gets an obligatory mention. I've read a fair few horror books, and it always gets me if they're jump scares. Ha! Fucking got ya. The Purge is what I like to call cool kid horror. The type of film that the cool kids at school talked about, and is exclusively watched by people who drink paint thinner instead of water. The concept of having a day where you can literally do whatever you want without repercussion is hilarious, on account of rich people having this privilege all the time. Watching as normal people turn killers as they give in to their darkest desires is something I find incredibly unrelatable, as my darkest desire is to smear myself in Lindt chocolate and dip marshmallows on my supple body like a Roman emperor. The Purge is essentially what the Jacksonville gang war is like in film form. Change the names of those killed to Lil Bo or Smokesky and it's utterly indistinguishable. Saw is kind of like Home Alone if Kevin McAllister was forced to be homeschooled in Scunthorpe. By taking people who commit crimes like stealing from the Lidl bakery or jaywalking, whatever the fuck that means, he makes them face their crimes for redemption. It does make me consider what trap I'd be given for my crimes.
Do you want to play a game? If you don't punch these children, then... wait, I haven't finished talking yet.
Where Evil Lurks is apparently not about Jacob Rees-Mogg, but is actually about a demon inhabiting a small town. Oh, so it is Jacob Rees-Mogg. The funniest part of the film is where we get to see an XL bully dog be a beautiful baby who would never harm a fly. Wolf, I hear you moan sensually. Why are you such a fearless stud? Good question, you. Enjoying horror is essentially self-torture just without the sex dungeon, thus making its enjoyers perverts. With that being said, I saved the scariest horror medium for last. Now, warning here, this is not for everyone. Love Island is a horror drama that has the unique feature in that it isn't the cast of the film that undergo the torture, but the audience instead. Featuring dialogue that could outright kill a vampire, no silver or garlic needed, the vampire, and also me, simply would rather turn themselves to dust and face eternal damnation than spend another second listening to any more. I need to have some words with the casting director, as I'm not entirely sure where they find the actors for Love Island, but whoever they are deserve 7 to 8 years in prison. Giving normal people the pretense to oogle at their bodies without any stigma, Love Island is essentially porn for cowards. The highlight of the show, I'm told, is when the couples descend under their sheets like the world's most shit ghosts. It must be difficult for a parent watching a child take part, as they desperately hope that everyone at work didn't see their daughter get railed by a guy called Ricky in front of millions of people. I'm unsure whether Love Island appears to the same morbid part of the brain that makes us stare at traffic accidents or roadkill, but what I can say is that looking at their profiles and introduction, all I can imagine in their heads is a dead rat slowly rotating in a microwave. That's the video. Bye! That will bloody do. That bloody... So what I'm saying is that demons, unlike peacocks, where I can stuff its takedown with a sprawl and then guillotine the fuck out of its dumb lanky neck before I can be pried off with a firefighter's jaws of life, you can't do that to a demon. Horror then is a strange thing to enjoy, but understandable. See Children Falling Over or Dr. Pimple Popper.